Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to begin this lesson by giving all glory, all honor, and all praises unto
Yahweh,
Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach Kodash. Giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who surely do rule well. As always, we like to say Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Like a couple of brothers, they gathered together from the hills of Yahushai camp, brother. And brother
Isaiah.
And I'm the brother Maya Shala. Right? Topic for today, based off the word of today, Merriam-Webster Dictionary, June 18, 2026, Aquiesce. You could play it.
Aquiesce.
Acquiesce. What it means.
To acquire, to acquiesce to something is to accept it, agree with it, or allow it to happen by staying silent or by not arguing.
Right.
Acquiesce is somewhat formal and is often used within or to. Eventually, the professor acquiesced to the students' request to have the seminar's final class be a potluck lunch. Examples: it may be just the right time for a chicken burger to become a significant stop on the American burger's continual evolution. But whether beef clinging purists will acquiesce to a poultry spin or cry foul remains to be seen. Talib Vizram, Slate, 6th April 2026. Did you know? If you are looking to give your speech a gentle, formal flair, don't give acquiesce a silent treatment, essentially meaning to comply quietly to order. Acquiesce has its ultimate source in the Latin verb quiescere, to be quiet. Quiet itself is also a close relation. Quiescere can also mean to repose, to fall asleep, or to rest. And when acquiesce arrived in the English via French in the early 1600s, it did so with two senses: the familiar, to agree or comply, and the now obsolete, to rest satisfied. Herman Melville employed the former in Moby Dick when Ahab orders the confounded crew to change the Pequod's course after a storm damages the compasses. Meanwhile, whatever were his own secret thoughts, Starbucks said nothing, but quietly issued all requisite orders, while Stubborn Flask, who in some small degree seemed then to be sharing his feelings, likewise unmurmuringly acquiesced.
If you give me now the book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 4, the elect will not acquiesce to the beast's system and will not acquiesce to bowing to the beast or its image, and will not acquiesce to receiving the mark of the beast. If you could give me Romans 11 and 4.
Okay. The book of Romans chapter 11.
The book of Romans chapter 11 and verse 4. But what say the answer of power unto him? I reserved unto myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So the Most High has reserved and created a certain number of men in the thousands, Revelation 7, who not standing for shit and who will not bow or acquiesce to any shit in the earth. What shit am I talking about? Revelation 13, if I could go from verse 15. Because again, we're seeing there's something going on in the earth today. We know we're living in the times of the Revelation. Elon Musk speaking about by this time December or by sometime December, get ready to see a brain chip that they could be able to put in your head that will be able to allow you to perform, or allow them rather to perform Jesus level miracles. Heal the blind, people who cripple could walk. We know Neuralink already do the thing with it had some men do the first human trials and a man was able to play video games with his mind. Right? As we know, these counterfeit pseudo miracles, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. But this is not going to fool the elect into acquiescing or standing down or not speaking out against the shit, right?
Revelation 13 and 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? So there's a group of men, as per prophecy, not going to worship the image of the beast or be fooled by these miracles. If you could continue. In fact, even if you read verse 14, and deceived them that dwelt. From 12.
You go ahead.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Roman Empire.
Right? And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven and earth in the sight of men.
Missiles.
Right? And deceiveth them that...
Missiles,
the atomic bomb.
The atomic bomb.
Nagasaki,
Nagasaki,
Hiroshima. Right? And deceiveth them that dwell in the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell in the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live.
Which is what the Greco-Roman ideologies and ways come back in the earth today again. Go ahead. Now if you could jump to verse 16.
And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Now again, when we go into this word acquiesce, one of the words it says is to agree to something by or complying to something by just staying silent or saying nothing. But we know that is not the MO of the prophets. If you could give me Revelation 14 verse 9.
Revelation 14. Something back.
Yeah.
In the book of Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb Yahushua.
So again, how we know ultimately they're not going to acquiesce to Revelation 13:16 and being in that lot or in that number of being caused to take the mark of the beast, because they're going to speak out against it, right?
Now,
and they're going to speak out against it till death. If the brother has some here.
Jumping up to verse 5, Revelation 14 and 5, and their mouth was so no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of power.
Exactly.
Proving that they will acquiesce to
The beast system.
the beast system to it.
Daniel 3 and verse 16, it says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. Right? But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy powers, which that is what Esau is trying to do. Establish himself, right, through the MOTB as God within the earth, right? So the ones you take in the MOTB is you bowing down to him,
or relenting to him.
You relenting to him, because what is he going to use in order to make you bow down to him or make or convince you to take the MOTB?
Yes, right. And like these I want a food.
Well, not so much where you like, where you need.
Or where you need.
But all of those things, right, when you read through the Bible, all of those things was always in the hand of Yahweh. So he's literally trying to put himself in state in your mind, or the mind, but frame your mind to believe that what God provides for you, he is the only one able to provide for you.
And not only that too, in the times of need, the Lord always provided for his men.
Exactly. So his men are not going to acquiesce.
Exactly, they will have no need to. If you could read verse 18.
But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods.
Which at the mark of the beast, when you go into that word mark in the Greek, it goes into what of idolatrous images. The mark of the beast is an idol, it is a god. Quote unquote.
Or will be used to make people gods.
Right. Or make people worship the beast and the beast system and the people who pushing this shit in the earth as their gods. Right.
Nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right. I want to see what golden mean in this context here.
It could also
should be glorious, because they're trying to portray themselves as the most glorious ones in the earth. I wonder if it goes back to splendor, glory.
18. I think it'll just be gold.
Just gold.
Yeah, just gold.
That of brilliant. When they go into the root,
Hebrews Psalms 2091.
Sahab of brilliance splendor figuratively. So when you're portraying something, you could say, well, there's a golden boy. Like Maradona. his nickname was P-Baby or the Golden Boy, right? Why they call him the Golden Boy? He was portrayed as being what a splendid footballer, one of the most gifted, most splendid young footballers of all time, right? So when he says set up or worship the golden image, he's trying to portray Babylon or his system, which is the NWO today, as Nebuchadnezzar's metaphorically representative, or the kings of the earth today is metaphorically representative of Nebuchadnezzar of old. They are trying to set up the image today to have you, or this golden image, this splendorous Babylon today, to have you worship and bow down to. They're trying to do what bring back the good old days.
Done. And now what we're going to get to here again, big part of the acquiesce meaning, the understanding. So what agree to it without saying nothing. You know that is not the MO of the prophet. You just read it there in the Daniel 3. You also read it in the Revelation 14:9. If you can give me Isaiah 62 and verse 6, there's a group of men who not going to stop talking. They're not going to stop talking. Go ahead.
Isaiah 62 and 6. What?
And if you could hold on Isaiah 58 1.
Isaiah 62:6 have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem.
These same 7,000 men, 7 going to the number of completion, 1,000, a complete number of men by the thousands. That was actually, 7,000 men opposite that. Break that down in our works, it was actually 7,000 men.
But we know what 7 representative of God, which shall never hold their peace day nor night, neither make mention of the Lord Yahweh Shai.
Keep not silence, do not acquiesce, and they will not. Go ahead.
And give him no rest till he establish until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth.
So until he stop all this shit, don't stop talking. Go ahead. In the book of Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. The heading is the sins of the house of Jacob. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and shew my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So what the prophets will talk, keep them talking.
Talk,
keep them talking. We're gonna keep them talking.
Is talking, was that?
Yeah.
I think he said walk. It was walk, and I think he said talk as well.
Exactly.
I don't know the exact song to tell people to go and watch it, but or listen to it, but
Yeah, if you could know them, because the prophets will not stop talking, they shall be made enemies of the state. If you give me Amos 8 and 11, and if you give Matthew 10 from verse 16 by the Kasha.
I had Amos 8 and 11. It says, behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Shai power, that I will send the famine in the land, not a famine of bread nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Which basically what they're going to outlaw prophecy. Before you read that Matthew 16, if you could give me before you read that Matthew 10:16, if you could give me it and Revelation 2:10. Because again, if it now becomes illegal to preach the word of Yahweh, then what? There's jail to be faced. Go ahead.
Persecution.
Yeah.
Revelation 2:10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that he may be tried, and that he may have tribulation 10 days.
Devil, the same beast we read about in Revelation 13:16.
Yeah. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Yeah, if you could get Matthew 10 verse 16 by the Shah, go till verse 22. The book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. The heading here is sheep among wolves. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
Right, so why we have to operate like this? Good.
Oh, so. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils. This is why we need to operate like this, because the comment our time in the earth today, we're speaking the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and making it known to the earth that is a prophet might land your ass with. Go ahead. And will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, with to beat you and whip you. Right. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake. Right, the state, the beast system, the rulers of this world. And the angel even told John, Revelation 10, thou shalt prophesy again before what? Many kings. So the rulers of the earth gonna see us. Lord willing, we be a part of that. We're gonna be face to face with the prime ministers, the kings, the elite
the Freemasons, every last one of them. The prophets of old often where Daniel was in the court of Nebuchadnezzar. Right, the first time Daniel had any interaction with Nebuchadnezzar was to save his own life. Right, when Nebuchadnezzar decreed that that would not be the first interaction, but Nebuchadnezzar had the dream and then decreed if no wise man could find out the dream, he put all the wise men to death.
Yeah.
Right? Then Nehemiah was in the court of King Cyrus. Mordecai was in the court of Artaxerxes. Right? Who else? John the Baptist was in the courts of Herod.
Howard Shai could have been in the courts.
Yeah.
The one that he wanted to speak to Howard Shai say, go tell that fox. Go tell that fox I cast out spirits, I cast out devils and spirits. Howard Shai could have been in the courts, so he said, fuck you.
And subsequently after, he would have put John the Baptist to death. Then he sought out Howard Shai. So Howard Shai said, well, you fucking mad. But do not speak with me, why? Do not speak to me.
You don't have the right.
Wait, I would like for it if you not speak to me, please. Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 19. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what he shall speak. For it shall be given you in that same hour what he shall speak.
Yeah.
For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father, Yahweh, which speaketh in you. And the brother shall deliver up the dead as a death, and the father the child.
So this word gonna make your enemy amongst your entire family. Right?
I wish I say what you come to set a sword. Father against son, mother against daughter, child against parent, and so on and so forth. And the children shall rise up against their parents as the spirit, and cause them to be put to death.
Right.
And he shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
And that is the whole point, because the prophets will refuse, the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will refuse to acquiesce to this system. This is going to cause them to be put to death and be hated among men. And this putting to death is what? This is leading to the martyrdom prophecy, if you give me Revelation 3 and verse 10. Because again, being in this thing, you have to understand what it is into. Apostle Gabao always likes to say it, and he even did a video on this recently. It couldn't be a week past since he did this video. It could be 2 weeks, maybe. Some of us came into this thing to be martyred, right? So why are you going to be martyred? Because you will not bow to the system. You will not acquiesce. Go ahead. That's part of the bitterness. Right? In Revelation 10, it speaks of it. As in your mouth with sweetness as honey, but then it's bitter in your belly. The bitter is to go through the hard parts of the scripture. To have hard parts of the scripture, strong men, or men who not strong won't be able to go through. As Yahushua even spoke about that. The seed was planted in here, but then it grew up, it sprung up among thorns. And with the thorns, the cares and affairs of this world and this life. In that same parable, he said what? He do it, some seed planted, he do it for a little while, but when persecution arises, he is offended. Yeah, because of the word he is offended, like Matthew 13 and 44. Yeah. Right, so 44 to 46. So we know, this we can't shun this out of our mind. The ideology that he should get it defined, could do like how the three holy children just did. He said, well, if you even put me in that bad situation, is one, because he gonna get me out, and if he doesn't do like second Maccabees the second and the 7th chapter, well, we going through this right now because we sin.
But we coming for you.
Yeah, we coming for you. Then it have scriptures comfort you. Always remember that, right? We are among the sanctuary, right, with the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that Yahweh Hashem try to comfort our minds concerning the turmoil that we go through in the world.
Revelation 15 and 10 tell you that.
But the
patience and the faith of the saints. He that leadeth into captivity must surely go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must surely be killed with the sword.
And the psalmist Asaph said it in Psalm 73 chapter, right, when his feet had nigh well slipped. Why? Because he was envious of the foolish when he saw the prosperity of the wicked, right? So you go through things, right? But these scriptures to confirm you, so let you know what you should do in certain situations. If faced with fiery trials in front of you, go through it, right? And if you trust that Yahweh Shai will deliver you out of it. And if you are not delivered out of it there in that instance, trust that the Lord Yahweh Shai is his hand is in it all, and he wishes for his best outcome, which is beneficial for you. to play out, because the scripture also talks about the ones that were in the sight of the
I
unwise.
had that there too.
Yeah, that
Read that Revelation 3:10.
Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
So what does this keeping mean? It doesn't just necessarily mean that you're not going to go through affliction, you're not going to be put to death, and you're not going to, some men might end up fasting for a really long time, but it also means what? He's going to build your mind to be able to go through these strain and these troubles. So it is resolute acceptance of death. They're going to have the mindset to accept any tribulation or anguish that they might go through and not acquiesce and bow to any other god.
Revelation 2:10. After I read one word.
There's the word here, keep, in the New Testament G 5083, metaphorically to keep one in the state in which he is.
Exact. So keep your mind where it's supposed to be. Why? Because it did the work.
Isaiah 33:6.
Yeah.
Wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of thy time, and the strength of thy salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure.
With stability, and to keep those words and phrases synonymous with what? Fortitude.
And the minds of the elect will be fortified in that time.
Exactly. Yeah, but I was talking with the brother last night, and he brought out a precept concerning that the Lord shall make you. How would that precept end by?
Shall make you.
No, when he was talking about, going into them meditating terrors, remember? And sit down and say,
can make your heart strong.
Something along them lines.
Then go ahead. If you give me Revelation 20 and 4 over the shot.
Revelation 20. You got it.
Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that he may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days, and those 10 days represent a period of time. Because some men might actually go into the sinking as 10 days, and then when 10 days pass, they're like, boy, 10 days up, what's going on? It just represents a period of time. Be thou faithful until death, and I will give you a crown of life.
But because again, the fact that they will not bow to the image of the beast or receive his mark, it's going to lead to their martyrdom.
Right. Revelation 2 and 4.
20 and 4.
20 and 4 to what? And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh and for the word of power, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands.
So what? They were beheaded, they were martyred, but why were they martyred? Because they did not worship the beast or the image, neither had they received his mark upon their foreheads or in their right hand. What is that? They did not acquiesce.
Go ahead. And reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. One thing. I wonder if acquiesce is synonymous with worship. We could add it, we could look it up, so copy. Just to see if it's synonymous with. Guys, let's get some synonyms. Synonymous: accede, agree, assent, come wrong, consent, subscribe.
So that Maccabees make mention of they consented unto his religion.
Yes, right. Remember, so let me see if I see it here. They worshipped. Worship in the Greek is G4352. To kiss the hand towards one in tokens of reverence.
They will not reverence the beast god.
Among the Orientals, especially the Persians, to fall upon the knees and touch the ground with forehead as an expression of profound reverence.
With bow, this one in the New Testament, God.
In the New Testament, by kneeling or prostration to do homage to one, to make obeisance.
They had not bowed the knee to the image of Baal, God.
Use of homage shown to men and beings of superior rank. Alright, let me see if it has anything here. Let me see what this one says. Alright, go ahead.
Right, so if you could give me it now.
Revelation 6 and verse 9, again, we know the prophecy states that there's going to be a group of men who are not going to bow. And we know that's going to happen because what the book already tells you the story, right?
In Revelation 6 and 9, the heading is the fifth seal open. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yahweh,
Martyred.
by Hashem Yahushai, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Go ahead.
And white robes were given unto every one of them. I will tell unto them that they shall rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Exactly. Now, if you give so that men dead for a long time right now, long, quote unquote, and just waiting for the rest because them know the story can play out the scene. If you give now Wisdom of Solomon 3 from verse 1, because we understand the mindset that Yahweh is going to put in the elect in those last days, going to be one that they would rather suffer than acquiesce. Go ahead. And again, as I'm talking about the comfort, right, scriptures make mention of comfort one another with these words. We just read it in Revelation 6. Them men was put to death and they were what? They were at rest. So there shouldn't be nothing you should be afraid of, right? Go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, there is a Solomon 3 and 1. The heading is the righteous are happy in their death.
Yeah?
The righteous are
Good.
The righteous are happy in their death and in their troubles, but the wicked are not. Verse 1, but the souls of the righteous are not.
Yes, worded. Yeah,
no,
that's the heading you just read.
As the heading I read.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 1, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery.
So what people would believe that these men being martyred, they would be unhappy. But we're gonna show you through scripture why they won't be. We just showed you in Revelation 6 what they're at rest. Go ahead.
Verse 3, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace.
But they are in peace, Job chapter 3, right? The servant is free from his master. Go ahead.
For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality.
Yeah.
Job his eyes.
Job
worms.
Job 20. 5 and 19. 5 and 19.
Because what he seen, he created, he know he creator coming to save him.
Go ahead.
So why else would they not be happy?
Go ahead, yeah.
For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality, having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh Bashem shall prove to them and found them worthy for himself.
And that is just the point there. Why would they be unhappy if the Most High has deemed these men to be worthy for the death that they had to go through? If I could get it now and go close with this. Ultimately, why are they going to be happy and why are they going to be unbothered about the martyrdom they're going to face as a result of not acquiescing? Because that is a reward for the labor. 1 Thessalonians 4, go ahead. And verse 16, for the Lord Yahweh Shemeshach, or the Lord Yahweh himself, shall descend from heaven with a shout, and with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of power, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first.
So the men who were martyred, go ahead.
And look, you see,
1 to 4,
right? Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord Yahweh in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord.
So what the ones who are alive and remain gonna meet Yahweh and the rest of the elect in the clouds, caught up together with them, so shall they ever be with the Lord. So if the ones, right? So what we see here is if they have to meet Yahweh in the air, and then shall they ever be with the Lord. The ones who died already with him, and they were ever with him since they died. Because again, as we know, they the last go around. You know? It has nothing after this but the kingdom. You know? So what if you die, you just get to be with Yahweh before everybody else. That is a reward.
As Yahweh say what? So I forget what I was going to say.
If you love me,
No, not that.
When I go, you should don't be upset because I go to the Father.
No, that's a good one too, but it's not that one.
where Yahushua says, blessed are those that die and life is hid in me?
Yeah, Colossians 3:3. If you could read the last precept and then you could read that.
4:18.
Yep.
Therefore, comfort one another with these words.
And more than just comfort one another with these words, be comforted with these words. You're gonna be with Yahushua if you die. So that is small thing to do. Go ahead.
Colossians 3:3. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mashiach in power.
So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and that you were edified. In closing, I'd like to say, Kala Yamna Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Maka Kodash. Give double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of great news, soon surely do rule well. As always, like to say shalom unto the elect.
Shalom
to the elect. Right, this was a couple of brothers here from the Heroes of Yahushai camp.
Brother Hanana.
Brother Maya Shala.
And I'm the brother Isaiah saying,
Shalom.
Shalom.
Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.